When you hear the words financial independence, what comes to mind? For most people, the answer is simple: money, right? Or maybe a promotion, a bigger salary, a successful business, maybe it's a huge bank balance, right? And yes, all of those things do matter. But today I want to talk about something slightly different. Because over the years, I've met many women who earn very well and still don't feel financially secure. And I've met women who don't earn huge amounts but somehow feel confident, prepared, and capable of handling whatever life throws at them. So maybe financial independence is not just about income, maybe it's about something much deeper. Maybe it's about knowing that if life changes tomorrow, you won't completely lose yourself. And honestly, I think many women misunderstand what financial independence actually means. One thing I've noticed is that many women believe that financial independence starts with earning more money. If only I had earned more, or if only I had a better job, if only I had more savings, then I would feel secure. Then I would feel independent. Then I would stop worrying. And sometimes that is true. Money does solve certain problems. And let's not pretend otherwise. But money alone doesn't create confidence, because financial stress isn't always created by lack of money. Sometimes it's created by lack of awareness, by lack of knowledge, lack of planning, lack of information, and lack of involvement. And that's where things become confusing. A lady can have money coming into the house every month and still feel completely lost when an important financial decision needs to be made. And another woman can be going through one of the toughest phases of her life and still somehow find a way forward. The difference is not of income, the difference is understanding. Many years ago, when I left my marriage, my daughter was 6 years old. Now, to be fair, for the first 3 years, her school fees were paid by her father. And I am grateful for that support as well. But life is much bigger than one school fee, right? There were books, there were clothes, there's food, hobby classes, uniforms, medical expenses, dental treatments. There are classes, there are outings, birthdays, so school projects, school trips, school excursions. Apart from that, there are daily household expenses, there is maintenance, there is insurance, fuel for my car. I had a small nano car at that time, fuel for that. And then, of course, there were my own expenses. What people often don't realize is that life rarely is one big expense. Life is hundreds of small expenses quietly standing in a queue. And every month they show up without fail. And somebody has to figure them out. Somebody has to decide ये मैनेज कैसे होगा, इस मंथ का क्या प्रायोरिटी है, अब क्या वेट कर सकता है और क्या नहीं, कहाँ एडजस्टमेंट करनी पड़ेगी. There were times when I took loans. There were times when I used my credit card and maxed it out. There were times when I had to sell my gold. And all this was not because I wanted to, but because I needed to keep moving forward. And if you have ever gone through a difficult phase in life, you probably understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes you don't make perfect decisions. You make the best decision possible with the information and resources available at that moment. But something else was happening too. I was working for a company that had a strong Mediclaim policy that helped enormously. The company offered overtime opportunities. That helped me too. There were incentives, there were options for additional earning as well. There were ways to increase income, ways to learn, ways to grow. And slowly, something became very clear to me. Financial independence is not only about having the perfect circumstances, it's about learning how to work with the circumstances you have. Something we don't give women enough credit for is how many women tell me, Aparna, मैं finances में अच्छी नहीं हूँ. And every time I hear that, I want to ask them a few more questions. Because once they talk about their life, I hear something very different. I hear women managing households, planning children's education, handling family responsibilities, stretching budgets, comparing costs, haggling with the bhajiwala, preparing for future expenses, adjusting when life changes, solving problems every single day. And honestly, aren't all those financial skills? You may not call them financial skills, but aren't they really financial skills? I mean, planning is a financial skill, right? So is prioritizing. What about thinking ahead? Isn't that a financial skill? Making limited resources work is a financial skill. Finding solutions when life gets difficult again is a financial skill. Many women already have this ability from before. The problem is that they don't see them as strengths, they look at it as a way of life. They think financial intelligence only belongs to people who talk about stocks, mutual funds, and investments all day. But that's not true. The foundation of financial independence is often built long before somebody learns about investment. It starts with responsibility, it starts with planning, it starts with problem solving. And women do these things every single day. Now, having said that, there is one important piece that many women miss: awareness. Because being capable and being informed are not always the same thing. I have met highly educated women who don't know how much their household spends every month, what insurance policies exist, what investments exist, what loans are running, where important documents are kept. Not because they are not intelligent or they're not capable. It's only because nobody expected them to know. So they didn't even take interest. And for long periods of time, that may not create a problem until life suddenly changes. And for long periods of time, that may not create a problem until life suddenly changes. And that's when information becomes important because clarity reduces panic, information reduces fear, awareness creates options, and options create confidence. Maybe financial independence doesn't start with earning more, but maybe it starts with understanding more. Yeah. Now, while awareness is important, but awareness alone isn't enough because what happens is many women know money exists. They know there are accounts. They know there are investments done. They know there are policies, but they don't always have access to them. They don't know the fine prints. They don't know what is the exact amounts. And that's where things become a little more complicated. So let's talk about that. One thing I've noticed over the years is that many women don't actually doubt money. They just doubt themselves. And there is a difference, in this. I've spoken to women who are highly educated, uh, good positions in companies, women who are successful in their careers, women who carry enormous responsibilities every single day. Yet, the moment the conversation turns to finances, they become hesitant. अपर्णा मुझे फाइनेंस समझ ही नहीं आती. अपर्णा मैं नंबर्स वाली पर्सन ही नहीं हूं. अपर्णा ये सब मुझे बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लगता है. एंड ऑनेस्टली I don't think the problem is intelligence because they are very intelligent. I don't think the problem is capability because they are capable. I think the problem is just familiarity. The things we do regularly feel normal, the things we don't do regularly feel intimidating. And that's where many women get stuck. Not because they can't earn, but because they haven't had enough opportunities to participate. Confidence comes from participation. I think one of the biggest myths we believe is that we think confidence comes first and action follows afterwards. But in real life, it's usually the opposite, right? Confidence comes after action, after you participate, after you experience something, after asking questions, after learning, after making decisions. After getting some things right, and maybe also after getting some things wrong. Think about any skill you've learned. Swimming, you talk about driving. Let's take driving for example. Do you remember the first day you started driving? Were you so confident? But what about now? You would know how to drive. Same goes with cooking. Was it so easy to make a roti? Did your first roti ever turn round? No, right? The first few attempts usually feel uncomfortable. The confidence comes later. Financial confidence works exactly the same way. You don't wake up one morning suddenly feeling confident about money because that doesn't happen. You become confident because you start becoming involved in the process. Little by little, step by step, you you start familiarizing yourself. And that's an important distinction because many women wait to spend years waiting to be ready for it, when reality readiness often comes only when you participate. There is another idea I want to share with you, and honestly I don't think women recognize this about themselves. Financial acumen is a superpower. Not because it helps you become rich, of course, that does happen, but also because it helps you create options, options for yourself. When people hear the word finance, they often imagine big spreadsheets, investments, stock markets, portfolios, complex calculations. And yes, those things definitely are a part of the financial world, but they are not the whole picture. Financial acumen is also the ability to think ahead, to evaluate choices, to assess your risks, to recognize opportunities, to adapt when circumstances change, to make decisions when there is no perfect answer. And life asks us to do those small things all the time. One thing I learned over the years is that financial independence is not built only through money. It's built through decision making. It's built through planning. It's built through learning new things. It's possible to learn stocks. It's possible. Everything is available today. It's built through adaptability. Sometimes the answer is just increasing your income, and sometimes the answer is maybe reducing your expenses. Sometimes the answer is learning a new skill, like, maybe investing. Sometimes the answer is taking a calculated risk, like taking a loan. And sometimes it is saying yes to overtime because that's probably the easiest way to earn more money. And sometimes it's taking an additional responsibility. Sometimes it's finding benefits that already exist but you have not fully utilized. And sometimes it's simply being willing to look honestly at your situation. One thing life has taught me is that there's a difference between taking reckless risks and taking calculated risks. A calculated risk says, I understand the situation, I understand the consequences, and I'm choosing the path consciously so I know where I stand. That is a calculated financial skill. Learning how to use opportunities is a financial skill. Learning how to create solutions is a financial skill. Learning how to recover from mistakes is a financial skill. And the more you work with women, the more I get convinced that many women already possess these abilities. They simply haven't recognized them yet. The ability to think, to adapt, to learn, and to respond is incredibly powerful. And it can change the way you approach every financial decision in your life and also your life as a whole. Now, let's look at the other side because there is a cost to staying uninvolved. Not because something terrible is guaranteed to happen, no, but life doesn't work like that, right? Life does change, and sometimes suddenly. And the challenge is not just that women eventually learn. The challenge is that many women are forced to learn during a crisis, when emotions are already running high, when uncertainty is already present, when important decisions need to be made quickly. And trust me, that's a very difficult way to learn. Imagine trying to learn how your finances work while you're dealing with a health emergency, or you're worried about your job, or maybe you're facing a major relationship challenge. The information itself at that time may not be difficult, but the emotional pressure makes everything feels heavier and tougher. Everything is urgent. Everything feels overwhelming. And that's why involvement matters. Not fear. You can't, not paranoia, not expecting the worst. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about getting involved. Gradual involvement, steady involvement in learning new things. Because when you learn slowly, you build confidence in finances, in your situation slowly. And when life throws you a challenge, you're not starting from zero. You already have a strong foundation. You already know where to begin. And sometimes that alone can make a huge difference. Emotional security is very important, and I think this is the part that matters the most, because financial independence is not really only about money. Money is simply one piece of the puzzle. The deeper question honestly over here is, do you trust yourself? Do you trust yourself that if life changed unexpectedly, you would eventually find a way forward? Notice I didn't say immediately and I didn't say perfectly. I said eventually. Because life is uncertain for all of us. Nobody knows exactly what the future holds. What creates peace is not certainty. What creates peace is self trust. And I think that's something many women don't realize. When we avoid finances, we often assume we are avoiding numbers. But very often, we are avoiding uncertainty. We are avoiding questions we don't know how to answer. We are avoiding situations that make us feel uncomfortable. And that's completely human. We've all done it. But something interesting happens when you start becoming more involved. The fear doesn't disappear overnight, and neither does uncertainty. But slowly, your relationship with it changes. You start understanding more. When you see a balance sheet, it's not completely, oh my God, what is this? You start participating more, you start making decisions, you start building evidence that yes, I can do it, I can learn. Numbers look dangerous, but yes, if I focus on this and I can learn, I can understand what they are trying to tell me, I can figure things out, I can handle more than I think. And every time you prove one of those things to yourself, your self trust grows quietly, grows slowly, and almost without you noticing. This happens until one day, if something happens, your first thought is no longer, I don't know what to do, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Instead, your first thought becomes, okay, let me figure this out now. And honestly, that shift is what I'm talking about, and that is so powerful because that's not just financial confidence, that's confidence in yourself. So before we finish today, I want to leave you with a different question. Not a question like, how much money do I have, or how much do I earn, and what are my investments? Not questions like that. Ask yourself just this: if life changes unexpectedly tomorrow, would I trust myself to figure it out? Not perfectly, not immediately, but eventually. Would you be able to figure it out? Would I trust myself enough for that? Because I think the answer to that question reveals far more than any bank balance ever will. Financial independence is not just about earning money, it's also about being involved in your own life. It's about understanding, it's about learning, it's about planning, planning your financial life, planning your life ahead, planning about, making decisions. And perhaps most importantly, it's about trusting yourself, trusting that I can move forward, I can create miracles in my life. And if life changes, you will again find a way forward. Because when I look at the women I work with, I don't see a lack of capability, as I said. It's a lack of recognition. I see women who are far more resourceful, far more adaptable, capable. And maybe that's the real takeaway from today's conversation. You do not need to be a different woman. Do not need to have all the answers. You honestly do not even need to know everything. You simply need to start becoming a little involved in your finances, in learning, learn a little more. If you don't understand what's happening, how much insurance, learn. Today you have everything at your fingertips. Because confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build one decision, one lesson at a time, one step at a time, until you actually get the crux of it. It becomes easier for you. Please do it. Try understanding finances, and it'll help. Until next time, I'll stay. Take care.